So I wanted to grow some beans, so we've got this really old trellis, and I thought that because this is right in the middle of the sun, Queensland sun, I thought I'd grow my beans underneath. Now, carrots and coriander have done really well in sort of the shaded area, but the beans have not liked it, and I've just seen something which is just fascinating. One of the bean plants is covered in aphids. Now, industrially, you'd go and get your aphid spray in that. Those aphids are telling me that plant is sick. So why would I eat any fruit from that plant as it is? What I'm going to have to do is change the soil or change its position. And at the moment, because I'm sort of experimenting anyway, it doesn't really matter. But it's really interesting. This bean, I'll do a close-up for you, but this bean is covered in aphids and the other bean has no aphids on it. So this is actual regenerator proof that just because you've got pests on one plant doesn't mean to say it's going to spread across your whole crop. Really interesting, and I've seen this before with aphids. Insects clean up sick plants. They're like the rubbish collectors. So what I've done, because of course the beans now I definitely know are struggling here in the shade, I've planted some more out the side there in full sun, but of course they've still got access to the trellis. But I tell you what, this coriander, can't beat this. It is the most powerful, fragrant, tasty coriander I have ever eaten. And it's fresh, and I pick it, and Kobe loves curries, so perfect. She doesn't like coriander though, not yet. I'm working on that bit. Do you remember the video from before with the coriander and the carrots? Well, the coriander is about to go to seed and the carrots are still doing really well, sort of due to be picked soon. And do you remember when I was sitting here and I was like, oh, it's fascinating because one of my bean plants is being attacked by aphids, but the other one was completely clear. So what I did was I just kept observing and I allowed them to do whatever nature does. And what happened was that bean that was being attacked by the aphids actually died. And then they jumped onto the next plant, which was the more healthy one, but obviously still not completely well, 100% well. And they started to attack it as well. However, the plant must have had its immune system activated because it ended up killing the aphids. I didn't spray, I didn't touch it, I just kept watching. So with the regenerative farming, what we have learned and still learning is that when a plant is under attack by, for example, aphids, a pest, the roots secrete metabolites, which then have that's their way of communicating, so they pass that information on to the next plant. So the next plant, being this sort of semi-healthy bean, must have put up a protection and said, look, don't attack me, I'm going to survive. It nearly died, and I will show you now. I'd actually sort of given up hope, but you will see the new shoots, and it's actually looking. It's still not 100% healthy, but having said that, it is recovering from an aphid attack. And there are no aphids now alive around the place. Now, what I'm really hoping for is that it produces beans for me, and I'm going to keep those beans because in theory, and this is only in theory, it's actually now immune to aphid attack. And the other thing that happens when you allow a plant to be attacked and to provide itself with its own immune system and own protection, it actually creates for us, when we eat it, anti-carcinogens. And that just blows my brain, because if with the industrial way, every time it looks like a crop is under attack, it gets sprayed with chemicals, not only are we being doused with chemicals or eating chemicals or our food's being doused with chemicals, but we are preventing the plant from protecting us against cancer. That is just off this Richter scale. So we're actually totally our own worst enemy. This here is proof. This is regenerator proof that it works, and I am so excited, and I really, really hope that I do get some beans and that I can prove this. Because remember, I did say I'm not a scientist, but as far as I'm concerned, this is as scientific as you're going to get. This is in the field. This is not in a lab that's all with all the variables taken out and you're only addressing one thing. This is in the field. This is in with everything that can possibly go wrong and everything that could possibly go right. And it survived. And I'm so, so proud of it. So as you can see, the aphids were attacking it and they were all up here, and then all of a sudden these shoots came through. But you can see they're still not 100% healthy, but compared to what it was, and I think I am seeing the potential of flowers coming through, buds. I think they are buds. So, oh man, it's survived, and I'm really hoping that, yeah, it will produce some beans, and I won't eat them because I want my own protected plant, protected against the aphid attack. Super healthy, super mineral dense, super charged, super everything. How good's that?